Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Learn more at labrunerie.com or by calling 573-449-5313. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, October the 9th. It's good to have you with us today. I want to introduce you to Lacey Prater. First time she's been on our program. She is a social worker with MU Women Children's Hospital. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, Lacey. As a social worker, you are here today to tell us about a very special event that's coming up. It's a remembrance walk, is that right? Or a
That's
remembrance
right.
memorial?
Yep, a memorial walk specifically for families that have lost a child either in pregnancy or in those first few months of life.
Now, how did you come up with this idea to do the walk?
So it's actually something that I think it was in the late 80s that President Reagan recognized October as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. So it was something that nationally we've recognized as a very common issue. 1 in 4 women are affected by pregnancy loss.
One in 4 women?
1 in 4 women, either through miscarriage, stillbirth, or a loss of a baby within those first few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the most emotional times of a woman's life.
Absolutely.
So as a social worker, you deal with this on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How do you approach a woman who is grieving about the loss of her child?
I think the biggest thing that we try to do is to validate that this loss, even if it was they're finding out that they're pregnant and that they've lost their baby all in the same visit, is so important. It's still a loss. It's still real to them. To them, that was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And to acknowledge that, to let them talk about what that means, and to treat that grief the same as you would any grief.
Right.
So that's really what this is about, is to acknowledge that that's important and to give people an opportunity to talk about it.
And also, I would imagine many times ladies will blame themselves for the loss of that baby, and they have to come to the realization that it was not their fault.
Right, absolutely. I think that we don't talk about this. It's not something that people, want to talk about. And so we carry lots of things inside of us and come up with all kinds of ideas about why this could have happened. So coming out and getting some information, learning from other people who have gone through this is a really great way to bring it out in the open.
Right, and they can all talk together and cry together.
Absolutely.
And cry together.
And we have joy. Last year we had our first one and people brought their families. We have activities for the kids, activities for families to do together. We have a little walk. We read the baby's name. So yeah, it's really great.
Oh, I'm looking at you right now and I can see you kind of tearing up a little bit just talking about it.
It was a great event.
And I would imagine it's very emotional. It's going to be when?
It's going to be Sunday, October 15th, which is actually Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day, at 1 p.m. at the South Providence Medical Park. So it's sponsored by MU Women's and Children's Hospital, and that's one of our locations.
Are you asking for people to let you know ahead of time they're coming, or just show up?
It would very much help us plan to know how many people are coming. Of course, people are welcome, but we're asking to RSVP by Wednesday, October 11th. And people can either call me directly at 771-4266.
Okay, give it to them again, slower. 771.
573-771-4266. Or they can go to our website, which is muhealth.org/journeys.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Lacey, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
by.
I appreciate you having me.
And well, you're more than welcome, and continued success with what you were doing, because that's a very important job.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I want to introduce you to a young lady who moved to Columbia, I think you told me 4 years ago? 5 years ago. Okay, so you're not a newcomer anymore. We have Heather Darby.
Hi.
Good to have you here, Heather. But this is the first time you've been with us on Radio Friends.
Yes.
And you're representing the Women's Symphony League. And you're here to promote a very special event that's coming up soon. What is it?
Yes. On October 14th, we are having our Taste of the Holiday Home Tour Luncheon.
Now, this is not the actual Holiday Homes Tour,
No.
which takes place in
The first weekend in December.
December. Okay.
But at the luncheon, we get to see the homes, find out who the homeowners are. We get a ticket with our luncheon ticket. We
Oh, you get a ticket for the
for
tour?
the home tour with the luncheon ticket.
So the homes that are going to be on the tour will be unveiled at the luncheon?
Yes, we
Okay.
have the unveiling.
So do you have pictures too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how many different homes will be?
There'll be 4 homes and 1 business.
Okay. So why should people come to the luncheon besides the fact that you're going to find out what homes are? Is it good food?
We have, well, yes, it's good food. We have a local caterer. Haas's Market and Rotisserie is doing the food this year for us. And we're having a fashion show.
Oh.
Jolene Schultz, who is the master of ceremonies of many a fashion
Oh,
show
my
in this
goodness.
town.
I know Jolene. Jolene is a wonderful lady. So she's going to be doing the fashion show?
She puts together a fashion show, and our fashions come from my sister's circus and Colleen's, which is in Holt Summit. Our models are not what you might think of as being a fashion show model.
They're not professional models.
No, they're not professional models. Some of our models come from our sponsoring businesses like Commerce Trust, Provision Living, House of Brokers.
So they're people just like you and I.
Just like me and the
Okay.
next door neighbor. And
Right. Okay. So they're not people that are walking around so thin and very.
right.
Okay. So
yes.
they're everyday people.
I was a model a few years ago, but we figured out that I couldn't make sure everybody got all their food and model at the same time. So I had to give up modeling.
All right. So you gave up the modeling. Now you're taking care of the food.
I'm making sure everybody gets their food and drinks and everything with the facility is running smoothly.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'm
So
doing
when is
all
this
that.
luncheon going to be?
It's October the 14th, 11:30 to 1:30.
That's a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday, October the 4th. That's the day before the Memorial Walk for the Women and Children's Hospital. All right. So October the 14th at what time?
11:30 a.m. to 1:30.
And where will it be?
Community United Methodist, that's on West Broadway, 3301 West Broadway, just west of Walmart.
Okay. And there's plenty of parking.
There's lots of parking right there, very
Yeah.
easy to find.
Do people, if they want to come, should they make their reservations ahead of time?
They must make their
They
reservations.
must, because you need to
Yes.
know how much food.
Yes, and we set a lovely table with linen napkins,
Oh, wow.
and I mean we do this to the
And
nines.
you will be checking to make sure that it's all going right.
Yeah, I
All
check
right.
it twice.
So how do people make their reservations?
They can do it online at mostsymphonysociety.org, or they can call our office. It's 573
Yes.
875-0600.
Okay.
And if they want to do it over the phone, they can buy their tickets that way.
All right.
But
Heather.
we need to know in advance.
All right. Got to know in advance. Heather, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.